name is Mason Sensi, Marketing Director at Focal Demographics. I'm proud to be narrating our version 2.0 launch today. Today, we will be recapping our previous version 1.0 launch, then introducing our new version 2.0 software, as well as other announcements related to the version 2.0, such as data analysis of the new release. Then we'll be going over subscription and sales. Finally, we will be discussing corporate sponsorships. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in the live chat to the right. I now present to you our CEO, Trevor Wilson.
Thank you for that, Mason. I appreciate the intro, and I am very happy to have all y'all watching this live stream today. So, a little bit of a version 1.0 recap. Version 1.0 was a major success for Focal Demographics. As we know, it gained a lot of notoriety on social media and various platforms, and we are so excited to be bringing version 2.0 to you. So let's go over something that was the DC Policy Project. So the DC Policy Project was something that I, as CEO, and my colleague Tyler Campbell, Chief Political Analyst, attended. And we sat down with various political and corporate business leaders to talk about breaking the barrier between politics and political policy, and also between corporate ownership. So we sat down with people like U.S. Senator Mitt Romney from Utah and Delta Airlines CEO Ed Bastian. Another thing that we did is we gained a lot of notoriety in the press with version 1.0. We had feature stories in various websites like Medium, Hub Pages, and the Tribune Review, which are three very popular news sources. And they ended up featuring our version 1.0 software and talked about the continuity of our success into version 2.0. We also had two major corporate sponsorships and partnerships that came about during the version 1.0 period. We partnered with Intellifluence, which is a company that engages in influencer marketing and allows influencers to have sponsorships on their social media pages. And we also partnered with UST Vision, that is a top-tier company in the field of Zoom camera lights and virtual meeting camera and microphone equipment. So looking forward, so right after the 1.0 launch on January 2nd, me and my data analysis team got together and we started to create something even better than 1.0. Like I said, we got working on version 2.0 and we started immediately. So what we did is we took our technologically progressive user interface that I've talked about in the past, we took that to the next level. And what we did is we made it a platform that has continuity of what you liked in the past with the compatibility of the user interface that allows all computer users to use our software. But we also created something very special with a more hands-on experience with an interactive tab of the software, which I'm going to elaborate more on once the official software version 2.0 is released. Also, we have another tab of the Pro version of the software that we're going to be adding, and it's all about staying in the loop of the news and political science industry, and data analysis industry and technology industry, and how other people are innovating and making political science a better and educational platform for all people who want to learn more. Now, I am officially going to be introducing to you version 2.0 of Focal Demographics. Okay, so now that the software has been officially released, We are excited to continue with what version 1.0 stood for by bringing you 5 new correlations between political ideology and 5 new demographics that we thought were important to share with the political science community. The first one is going to be a correlation between political ideology and COVID statistics. The second one is going to be another correlation between political ideology and the general age of the population. The third one is going to be a correlation between political ideology and high school graduation rate. The fourth one is going to be a correlation between political ideology and the childhood poverty rate. And the fifth one is going to be a correlation between political ideology and tourism hotspots around the country. And as we said before, the consumer liked what we had to offer in version 1.0. So that's why we're going to bring continuity to this software. And we are going to show all of our 5 new correlations in the same user-friendly format as before, with the political ideology map on the left, and then the demographics map on the right. And then on the bottom left corner of the screen will be the analysis video. And then on the bottom right-hand corner will be the transcribed video text. Now we're moving on to the first and most innovative new tab of this version 2.0 of the software, and that is going to be interactive data. So for those of you who are like me, and for many people in the political science industry, we're visual learners. We like to see what data looks like around our country. And sometimes it's hard for us to understand just spreadsheets of info that the states and municipalities around the country have to release on Excel documents in the public domain. So what we're doing is we're bringing this version 2.0 tab back to the basics. What I mean by that is in the 1980s, when the Palo Alto Research Center and the computer experts at Xerox created the point-and-click system, which we all use in computers today. And this point-and-click system is important because it goes and falls in line with how our minds work and how they think. So we're keeping to the basics. We're using the point-and-click system. If you want to find out certain data about a county, you point and click. If you want to find out about the electoral vote margins, around the country, you point and click on the U.S. electoral map. And that's how we're going to be keeping it. So the interactive data is going to be showing demographics and presidential election results. So not only is it having presidential election results, which presidential elections by nature have the most voter turnout and are overwhelmingly representative of how the people in our country think, but we're also going to be showing demographics, hence the name Focal Demographics. We're going to be showing why the people think a certain way, and those are the statistical correlations that we are going to be continuing to make through version 2.0, and especially in this interactive data tab of the version 2.0 software. So as we see right here, here's a few screenshots from the Interactives tab of version 2.0. Here's the electoral data examples. And what these are 3 different national maps that show how the Electoral College was represented and voted in by the people in the 2020 election. So as we see on the left, that's the basic electoral map that we all see, on CNN, on Fox News, anywhere that you watch the election results come in, that's what you see on the left. And what that's showing is just the basic states, blue going for Joe Biden, red going for Donald Trump, and that's a geographical representation of the Electoral College. The next one is a size representation of the Electoral College. So each one of those states are arranged in a geographical manner that's familiar for us, with all of us. But what it's showing is the size of each square is representative of how many electoral votes that state carries. So as we can see, a lot of those bigger squares are going blue for Joe Biden, hence him having 306 electoral votes over Donald Trump's 232 electoral votes. So that's kind of representative of a geographical map, but in the sense that the size of each state's square is representative of how much weight it carries in the election. And on the right is actually my favorite feature because it represents numbers, and it represents the size of each electoral, the size of the electoral vote count that each state carries. So what that is we call this the margins section, and there's a dashed line which you may not be able to see on this presentation, but there is a dashed line straight to the middle of those margins, and the bigger the circle is the most amount of electoral votes that state has. So as we see right there, California has with the abbreviation CA. California has a very big circle, and Texas has a very big circle, and those are the two states with the biggest electoral vote counts. But we can see that states like North Carolina, Florida, Texas, Virginia, Pennsylvania, states like that are all closer to that middle line, which means those are swing states. And as we can see, Joe Biden won a lot more of those swing states just by narrow margins, which gave him that 306 electoral vote count. So this is representative of the Electoral College and of the popular vote. And it's really interesting to see a map like this representative of both of those turnouts. Then we move on. So, at Focal Demographics, we are known for paying attention to detail. So we're not just going to show you a broad picture. We're going to go into depth. And what I mean by that is going on a county by county basis. So as we see here in the state of Florida, which by the way, this is represented in every state, but we just took a screenshot of the state of Florida. You can view county results and county demographics for every single county in the United States with our new interactive tab feature, but we're just using Florida as an example here. As we can see, Donald Trump won this election by a fairly large margin. Still a swing state, the state of Florida, but fairly large margin. But what we can take a look at here is we can see all of the counties that Joe Biden won, which are colored blue, and that Donald Trump won, which are colored red. And if when you buy the pro version of this software, you'll be able to hover over each one of those counties and see the exact vote totals and the exact percentages that each candidate got in that county, and how many people voted, hence how much weight it bared in the popular vote of each individual state. So that's really important, and that's really just bringing it down county by county and seeing how people really do think in each one of those counties as far as political ideology is concerned. Now, how do we tie this back to demographics? So on the chart on the right, we've created multiple charts. And this one on the right is talking about the demographics of how many people are college educated per county. So there's multiple correlations we can see here on the X and Y axis. On the X axis, obviously it shows the states that are red and have the red dots are the more Republican counties, and the counties that are the blue dots are representative of the more Democratic counties. So the farther left they are on the chart, the more radical Democratic they are, and the farther right on the chart, the more radical Republican these counties voted. And as we can see on the y-axis too, the lower on the chart the counties are, that's showing a lack of education and college education degrees, whereas higher up on the y-axis is showing more education and a higher rate of college education degrees. So as we can see here, not only can you show how in the state of Florida different types of people are voting, but you can also show that in the state of Florida, there is a correlation between how people are voting and education, and how in per capita and per county, how many degrees are in each county. So as we can see, this is a results table example. So we talked about how qualitative learners are really prevalent in this industry, but there are still some quantitative learners who just want to look at the numbers and they want to analyze this information for themselves. So that's why we created a glorified Excel document at the bottom of each one of these state wide and national wide vote totals. And as we can see, there's many demographics that you can sort each county and state by. So as we can see, the different demographics we have to show are the 2016 presidential margins, unemployment, percent white, percent African American, percent Hispanic, median income, percent college educated, as I showed before, and the COVID-19 cases per 1,000. So you can sort all this information in an Excel sheet, and you can click which demographic you want to sort them by, and it'll pull up in order of relevance, either the county by county basis on the Excel sheet or the state by state basis on the federal voting results Excel sheet. Now, the second and another extremely innovative feature of Focal Demographics that we're going to be launching in version 2 is a publishing subsidiary company. So let's ask ourselves this rhetorical question. What if we could take the news and the people's true thoughts and combine them? So after version 1.0, we decided to start a subsidiary publishing company that lets the people write the story, not the press. And now, on that note, I'm going to be officially introducing to you FocalMag. FocalMag will contain monthly editions of an e-magazine that cover political science and data-related stories. This is going to be included in the pro version of our software with no extra cost. So as you know, many companies that innovate and become greater in the sense that they are offering more tools to the consumer will usually increase the price. But what we're doing is we're including the Interactives tab, FocalMag, and the 5 new correlations, all for the same price as the original version 1.0 software, which our Chief Financial Officer, Nick Chesky, will be elaborating on here in a few minutes. So let's talk a little bit more about how each story contains relatable statistics. So each story contains relatable statistics to research what any consumer is doing within our software. So obviously, when somebody's buying or purchasing our software, they're buying it for a certain reason, whether that be to just learn more about the political science field, whether that be to manage a campaign, whether that be to instruct students in a classroom, in a virtual setting, or even in a live setting. For whatever reason it is, they need information regarding political science. So let's take 3 pillars of the software that I just said and how the consumer can use it. So the first one would be a campaign manager. So a campaign manager can use FocalMag because he or she can provide with information and live news that's going on around the country and how the people are thinking about it. So when a politician goes out and makes an address or talks about certain issues, they know what to talk about and they know how the people think about that. And they know how to address certain situations and issues that are going on, either in their voting district, their state, or even in their at the federal level in their own country. So another example of a pillar would be an instructor in a classroom. This person can explain how political science is relatable to not just numbers and Excel sheets and statisticians, but it's also relatable to how the people think. So what this will do is it'll break down how the people think, and the professors can explain on a more social sciences basis how people are taking issues, if they're taking them lightly, if they're not taking them lightly, if they're more conservative, if they're more liberal on a certain issue. So that's how we're going to be incorporating data into that. And then the last pillar I would like to go over is just if you're just a basic political science consumer, you want to learn more about political science. Well, if you want to learn more about political science, you need to understand how political science pertains to today's society. And FocalMag will be offering how the people think, why they think a certain way, and how demographics play a role in the live news updates that we see today. Another feature of FocalMag, which is also going to be included in the same pro version subscription, is the FocalMag live TV stations that we have to pick from. We have 3 different stations that we're going to be including onto the sidebar of our website. And that is going to be Newsmax, NBC2, and The First. So on your desktop computer, your FocalMag sidebar will have live channels to pick from. What's really important in the foundational principles that we strive for are to keep everything as unbiased as possible. We present numbers, we present facts, we don't present opinions, and we're going to continue to keep our company that way. So we have unbiased reporting from multiple sources. So we have looked at what the people think about certain companies, about Newsmax, about NBC, about The First. Do they have more of a leftist ideology? Do they have more of a conservative ideology? So we have looked at what the people think, and we have evened out the scale. We provide 3 sources that hopefully even out the political spectrum as far as the live TV portion of our website is going to be. So like I said, we're data driven. We want to present facts. We don't want to present opinions. And that's why we're bringing multiple channels into play, and we're allowing our viewers to pick from channels and to view all channels as to what they think they would like to learn from and get their information from. And this is just live TV. Like I said, every month we're going to be writing 4 new articles based off of stuff that we've written and data that we've written. But if you want to see live TV, you can log on to FocalMag and you can see live news updates on the sidebar from 3 different reliable news sources. Turning it over. So for more updates on version 2.0, feel free to follow Focal Demographics on our social media channels, and that includes Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of those channels. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact me at trevorwilson.fd@gmail.com. Thank you very much, and I'm happy that we got the opportunity to release version 2.0 of our software to all of you.
I now present to you our Chief Political Analyst, Tyler Campbell.
Hello, everyone. As Trevor and Mason have both mentioned before, my name is Tyler Campbell, and I'm the Chief Political Analyst here at Focal Demographics, and I'm very excited to be back talking to you guys and presenting version 2. My team and I have been constantly working to bring these new features to life for all of you, and we're bringing in 5 new correlations, interactive maps, and FocalMag, and all of this will more than double our overall content and data that's provided to you, the user, on our website. So let's go over these new features a little bit. The interactive maps will allow you to see political data from both the presidential election and smaller elections in every county across the country. FocalMag is a great addition to convey new developments related to politics to our audience, and the basis of our website has always been our correlations, and we're bringing 5 new ones to you with this update. So here's an example correlation that we're going to go over real quick, just so you can kind of see what our correlations are all about. I took the electoral map of Texas from the 2020 election, which is all the way on the left. The counties that voted for Donald Trump are in red, and the counties that voted for Joe Biden are in blue. And then in the middle, we have a map of Texas, and this map displays the childhood poverty rates and county by county. So basically the rates of anyone that's affected by poverty that is under 18. And then all the way on the right, we have another one of the charts that Trevor showed earlier. This one is dealing with unemployment in Texas. And the counties on the left are in blue, which are the ones that voted Democratic, and the counties on the right are the ones that voted Republican. So as you can see on this center map, on the southern tip of Texas, and at some parts on the western tip, the counties are a lot darker. These darker regions represent higher levels of childhood poverty. And these regions, as you can see on the map all the way on the left, voted more Democratic. There are plenty of reasons behind this, but one of the bigger reasons is that typically the Democratic Party provides more programs such as welfare and different food stamp programs such as WIC for women, infants, and children, and just different programs that will help out people that are affected by poverty and unemployment rates, which is also another connection that can be made from this. This trend isn't just true for Texas, it's true for counties and states all across the country with all of our correlations, not just the childhood poverty rate. So there's just a little example of what you're going to get with our pro version. And if you guys have any questions related to the data analysis or political side of our company, feel free to reach out to me, tylercampbell.fd@gmail.com.
I now present to you our Chief Financial Officer, Nick Chesky.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicholas Chesky, and I would first like to thank everybody for attending our version 2 launch. We're all tremendously excited to bring all of you this revolutionary software that is going to change our program forever. The first bit of information that I would like to share with you all is our current subscription rates. Now, any returning users from version 1 will immediately notice that these prices are the exact same. This means that all content included in version 1 and version 2 will both be included in that same price from version 1, meaning that we have consistent rates. Next slide. This next slide shows the process in which a user would go about subscribing to our pro version from our trial website. When on the home screen of the trial version, select the pro version tab, hit individual, and then you'll be prompted to enter your PayPal information. Any universities or colleges looking to subscribe to a software package should email us directly at focaldemographics@gmail.com. Safe transactions. Lastly, I would like to stress how important the safety and security of our users is to our team. We utilize PayPal's purchase protection plan to ensure safety for us and our clients alike. Along with this, we also utilize Google software to track all transactions. Once your payment has been processed by PayPal, we will send you a link through your email, which will grant you access to the pro version.
I now present to you our Monetization Director, Josh Gapson.
Hi, thank you, Mason. My name is Josh Capson, and I'm the monetization director here at Focal Demographics. And I got a couple questions for you viewers out there. Do you have or know of a business that is looking to grow? And would you be willing to partner with our team? Here at Focal Demographics, my peers and I in the finance sector have been looking for different partnerships and sponsorships, collaborations with other companies. And we offer up a very positive outlook on our different collaborations, as we have over 3,000 followers on all of our social media platforms, which include Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, as well as Twitter. And also, that is not the only way we can get your company's name out there. We are now starting advertisements on our trial version of Focal Demographics. And as we continue to roll out these different software updates and continue to improve on our software, we will attract many different clientele, such as just the average consumer, different colleges. That means professors, college students, and it'll definitely be a good way to get your company's name out there and drive a lot of traffic that way. Here at Focal Demographics, we also look to create a win-win situations when it comes to sponsorships and partnerships. We want to work together and create a long-lasting relationship that can benefit both parties. We would like to offer up posts on our Instagram page, our TikTok, Twitter. We would like to get your name out there on ads on our website, and I mean, as well as our product and our company being a factor in the different posts or in some kind of product line for other companies. We want to work together, and as we continue to grow, we still want to work with companies that were there with us when we were a startup company. We're a startup company now, and we already have 3,000 people that are viewing our stuff regularly, and that's just going to continue to grow. And, right now we may be just seeing 100 people checking out our Instagram post right now. But as time goes on, that's going to be up to the 500s into the thousands, and we still want to post different companies that we're working with now so they can reap the benefits of that, and we can create a long, healthy sponsorships or healthy partnerships that will, be beneficial for both us and the company that we're working with. So if you're looking into partnering with us, you can contact me at joshuacapson.fd@gmail.com.